Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 2B2T. We are here continuing our journey on Fusion's adventure, looking for goodies. Interesting. It's like they got this far and then they stopped on that little path. We know there's another path over there, so that's where that came from, but just kind of interesting. All right, well, we are continuing our journey as we take a drink. Should I make drinking sounds? Then we can have an ASMR video, right? Is that how all those people get popular, right? They just make sounds on their videos, and then it's like they have huge viral followings and views. I don't get that. I mean, well, okay, never mind. I take that back. I get it because most of the time it's some nice looking girl that's doing it and making different sounds, doing different things, even if it's just crinkling paper. You know, it's a girl, and then, there's all of us silly guys and a few silly girls as well that watch those videos, not necessarily for the sounds that the video is providing the experience of, but more for the viewing of the female specimen. Whether that is right or wrong or whatever you may feel, that is the truth of the matter. Okay, skeletons, zombies, spiders, all wanting a piece of me. I'm so popular. See, who needs viewers when you've got spiders, zombies, and skeletons, right? A few creepers here and there too. Hey, we found another watchtower. I'm just taking advantage of you guys because I want... Unfortunately, we only got one. Oh, I don't have my armor on. That's why I was taking damage. Let's look if we got a new horn. We don't need to do any repairs or anything. Hey, we got the Seek. Awesome. I'll take it. We'll replace you with that. We don't need the trims or anything. We've got all these trims, so. Cool. I don't know if I've got Seek. I'm just curious on this quick little curve trail. I'm just taking a look over here. No, I'm wasting some stuff, but I was just kind of curious because it's a trail that ziggy-zaggies over the Badlands. So for a moment, and it's not, but for a moment I thought, well, maybe it's, oh, wait. Is it just a turn? It's a junction. This is awesome territory. I love Badlands like this. If I had unlimited rockets, it would definitely be worth exploring a little bit more. Sometimes I wonder if, like, okay, I came across a little zone like that, right? A little trail, kind of zigzagging around a little bit. It's like maybe someone was exploring and taking a look around their base and just kind of did a little loop-de-loop. So it's like, hey, there's the other wolf variant. Let's take a look at you. You're cool looking. I like you. I like all you guys. You're cute. All right, back on track here. Doesn't look like the trail goes across anything here. I'll check this way just slightly. It's like, you know, you've got that little potential. There's probably nothing, but there's a creeper on the boat. Oh, no, 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 no. Get back. Okay. Thought he was going to blow me up. Nope. Okay. You never know. Alright, well. Onward we go in our bounce-a-boat. Bounce-a-boat? Bounce-a-boat? Bounce-a-boat. Okay. We're going the wrong direction. We're still going the wrong direction. We want to go back this way. Okay. Alright, so it was just a pop-off, you know, off of this main trail, and it looks like they did a little exploration is all. I was going to say, what am I stuck on? Is there some invisible thing? Doop, doop, doop. Up we go. Look at all the mobs around here. My goodness. I'd love to get some of the creepers, but it's like I desperately need a better sword. This is unenchanted. It's just a plain old diamond sword. I feel like I'm such a noob. I have nothing. Except that I have good gear and I have an elytra and other things. Scraping bottom on the corals. Scrape. Oh no, we've sprung a leak. You guys appreciate my sense of humor, right? All my little silly quirks. That's why you watch me. I know it is. I mean, I guess you could watch me for the scenery. You could be looking around and going, oh, neat, look, an azalea tree. Or, that's not an azalea, that's acacia. Oh, look, seaweed, kelp. That's cool, with some seagrass. Awesome, man. Cool, look, it's the stars and the moon. It's square. Right? You guys watch me because of that? You don't watch me because of my dry humor and ridiculous commentary and that stuff. Why would you watch that, right? Either way, I appreciate it. Thank you for being here with me. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look off to your right side, you'll see that we're passing a sunken ship. That ship was the great pirate Bartholomew the Pirate. He battled with the Royal Navy and lost, and his ship sunk right there. And off to the left side, you'll see another sunken ship. Oh, this was the Royal Navy ship. It was severely damaged during the battle and didn't quite make it away. But don't worry, we've got the Grand Palace of the Underwater Kingdom of Coralite coming up here on the left. Ah, yes, it's seen some better days, but it's still got its guardians guarding. Oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We have just been cursed with the blessing of the divine fish being. You are so lucky today to have experienced that. Do we go take a look? Sometimes I'm tempted. Do I go take a look? It's not a big square. It's probably just a path. We won't look at it per se. But at the same time, if I come over here and I see that, yeah, it looks like it's just a path. You know, if it's a large explored area, that's what I want to see. I want to see the large explored area, because then potentially there could be something there. We're gonna cross it anyways, so kind of come this way a tad. Do, 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 do. Mr. Dolphin, lead me to the treasure. Dolphins are supposed to lead you to treasure. Lead me to the player treasure. Don't want none of this Minecraft treasure. Worthless. Lead me to the player treasure. Oh, there's an interesting little ship. I'd say you run aground, sir. Must have been high tide. The silence of the sea, the ripples of the water, the little fishies playing, the squid frolicking. It's going to be interesting. I mean, well, it's going to be a while for 2B2T to get to that level, but I haven't paid attention if on Bedrock the new visuals have already released, right? Wasn't that announced earlier this year that that they were finally doing a graphics update? And so they were putting in, you know, dynamic water and atmosphere and stuff. Like there's the sound in the desert. And then there's, you know, the new visuals that give the, looks like you have a shader pack on that they were building into Minecraft. I think that's worth it. It is about time that, you know, Mojang makes that move. I understand why they didn't, why it's been a 16 by 16 block game forever. You know, I mean, 16 little squares across. It was performance, you know, and at the time when Minecraft came out, it's like if you went a lot further than that, because Minecraft has excuse me, even back then before the Caves and Cliffs update with the height changes and whatnot, you know, the world has to generate millions of these blocks, 16 by 16 patterns in the game. And that's a high graphics need, you know, on a base computer. And, you know, they based it off of the model that, okay, we want to maximize a 2 gigabytes of RAM because that's what most of your devices at the time are on. And of course you can update it. You can, you know, like mine, I'm playing on, I've got it set to use 4 gigs of RAM, so that I get better performance out of it. But it'd be kind of it's about time that they do an upgrade like that, where they increase how much the game needs. I could increase mine more, but I keep, you know, I've read and I've seen the videos that, like, you know, I may have the 4 gigs allocated right now, but if I, change it to 6, or I change it to, 16 or 32 or 64, obviously you wouldn't change it to 64 because, your computer still has to run on the rest of that, but, that it doesn't make any difference, which is unfortunate. Because if you have a high performance machine, should be able to, maximize it a little bit more. Like, on some other games, you can maximize the settings. You can play on the defaults, or you can go max to 5K resolutions and all that kind of stuff, because your machine can handle it. One of these days, I wonder if they'll transition Minecraft for that capability. Now, I know there's mods and stuff that you can do that. Like, you can get texture packs that are 64 by 64 blocks, so that instead of 16 across, there's 64 blocks across, or 32 blocks across, or you can get those different versions through shader packs and stuff, and they can be pretty cool. I mean, that's where you get all the realism, to where your dirt looks like dirt and everything. But it is neat that Mojang's, well, they're not going that far. They are updating and moving towards increasing the overall graphics performance and look and feel, the visuals and dynamics of the game, whereas previously it wasn't so much focused on that. It was more focused on, just the game running and, the mechanics and adding new blocks and, things like that. But this last year here, they've spent a little extra time of upgrading. I've always felt, though, that Minecraft needs more environmental impact. Sounds. At night you should hear the crickets, right? You can hear rain and thunder, so that's something. During a snowstorm, in a snow biome, you should hear the howling winds and, like it's a blizzard, right? I think that would be really cool. I mean, they've added the sand one, so the more sand that's around you, you can hear that little kind of like through the sand. I don't know if you can hear that on my mic, but I think that's cool, although it's really, really subtle. But I mean, that's cool. They just need to keep adding more of that. Or like if you're in lush caves, you should hear the dripping of water dripping down from the heights, from the ceiling and the walls up above, and cave sounds and things like that. The end and the nether, they should have theirs. I mean, the nether has a little bit when the music goes off, which is pretty cool. But it's not environmental. That's music playing, Last episode we found player activity. This episode we really haven't. Haven't found any player activity. I mean, the trails, if you want to count that. One of my team members was saying, now that I'm out this far and stuff, I should go back to spawn and start again, but with the gear I have, and go out a different direction and see if I can increase what I have, or, find the little stashes closer to spawn, or, stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I could do that, but also, wouldn't it be neat if I just keep this going and then I reach 1 million blocks on foot? I've done it before. I mean, obviously, I was using the nether. Okay, I don't want to go down that. Oh, I've had my elytra on this whole time. I keep forgetting to change. So we're just going to fly over that. And we're going to fly over this mountain too because I don't want to sink into endless snow. I need to... I wonder if that's still patched or fixed. I can't remember. I think... Didn't you used to be able to take those mountain goats? I'm going to hit a tree any moment. And like if you stand in front of them, in front of a tree, and they run and they slam in front of the tree, there's a chance of them dropping their horn, right? And you could collect the horns. But then I think they patched that. Is that still a thing? I don't know. There's a little spiky glitch. I'm here. There, we'll put our armor on. I was going to say there was a top of a tree there. Where's the rest of the tree? Hi, turtles. Should be able to ride a turtle. Should be able to stand on a turtle and stay on it. Ah. I'm sure he didn't appreciate that. Suppose they're going to ever add sharks or crocodiles and alligators to Minecraft? Or piranha in the jungle rivers? So that if you dare swim, you might attract piranha. Or if you're in the ocean, you might end up with a shark chasing you. Or if you're in the swamp, there might be an alligator or a crocodile that'll get you. That'd be interesting. Again, I know there's mobs that do that, but that would definitely be interesting. Let's do a little ice boating, huh? I was always so scared as a kid, you know, because we lived in the mountains and the lakes freeze over in the winter and stuff, and we would go ice fishing, which is a lot of fun. You know, you drill, you know, you're on the ice, and then you use your auger and you drill a hole through the ice, so you have your little hole, and then you put your fishing rod down and you catch perch or other things. We mainly went for perch because perch is awesome, especially for breakfast, filleted perch that you fry up. But and sometimes if the ice was nice and smooth and clear and it wasn't covered with snow, we'd bring our ice skates and we'd go ice skating, you know, at the same time, do a little ice skating while we're fishing and stuff like that. That was a lot of fun. But I was always afraid, too, of, okay, we're standing on ice. Below me is a bunch of water, you know, potentially 100 feet deep or whatever, depending on the lake. What if it breaks? What if the ice breaks? You know, and then, of course, where we lived, you know, depending on the year and how cold it was getting, you know, the ice would get, you know, over a foot thick, and so at that point you can start driving cars. I mean, obviously lower than that you can still take out snowmobiles. That was the typical thing, take out a snowmobile. But you could drive your truck out on the ice, and it's like, then it's even, oh man, really, is this safe? Do we really want to come out here? And occasionally you'd hear stories of where a truck fell through the ice. You know, of course, you can usually get out fairly easy. It's before it goes down. It's not like it just falls and you're down underwater under the ice. You know, I mean, usually it's the front wheels or the back wheels break through the ice, and then the truck starts sliding in, and you know, as the hole gets bigger, and you get out. But still, that's just freaky, isn't it? To think about. That you're just on ice and you're in a great big vehicle It's just kind of... That was always scary as a kid. Nothing ever happened. But still, it's like, you know, it could happen. Ow. Yeah, my sword is so weak. Can't even chop a little creeper. Definitely have a solid mix of biomes here with the different paths. Where over time the map changed and whatnot. Yeah, a frozen ship. I would have looked in those chests, but it's not in the explored spots, so it's like, nope, nobody's been there. There's a lot of paths around here. We're seeing more and more again. I think after this episode in a few minutes, I'll have to turn on my cords and see where I'm at. Because we might be coming up like on a nether highway area, a junction area. And so we're starting to see a lot more traffic because of the nether highway. You can definitely see the change of the biomes. We've got icebergs in the middle of the desert. So is this a path over here, or is this a large explored area? Maybe it's another elytra fly time just to get a gander. If we can even get off the ground. It's a junction of paths. There's an ender chest there. Turn off all those again. Still an edge to it. Nope, it's just like a little open area and a junction of the paths here. There's nothing here though. Well, darn it anyways. I had my fingers crossed for a moment going, maybe we found something? Maybe not. Don't shoot me with your arrow. I don't want slowness. Sorry, Mr. Creeper. I know you were minding your own business, having a good day, and here I come along and blow you up. Don't you hate that? Sometimes you use the elytra a little bit, so you're going fast, and then you're on the ground, and it's like you double tap or whatever your settings are so you can sprint and run, and yet it's like, God, this is so slow. Am I running? Shouldn't I be going faster than this? And it's like, yes, you're running. It's just that the elytra experience ruins it for you. where normally it'd be like, all right, I'm making good time. I'm running across the land here, and then, you know, if you didn't know the speed of flying. We have found a canyon. It's not too bad, though. We'll go down and up. We're coming up on our 30 minutes for our episode. Better be careful here. We're walking on suspended sand. You'd think it would fall just because of your weight. Good thing weight isn't a thing in Minecraft. Can you imagine if weight was a thing in Minecraft? Oh my goodness, we wouldn't be able to carry everything we carry. All those spaces of our inventory with shulks filled with stone and obsidian and, you know, everything under the sun. Imagine how much that weighs. There's a few games that are kind of realistic to weight, and it sucks in those games because it's like, just like if you're, you know, I mean, in real life, even carrying 10 pounds in your hand, you know, can be quite the, for a long time, that can really wear you out. We've got a portal over here, but this is on the path, so that's expected. They were checking out the mountain, man. Well, let's fly up to the top of the mountain then, and we'll end our journey up here. Where we can survey our kingdom. Oh. Guess there's not much of a kingdom. The portal's straight down there. Alright, well. We had some good conversations. Hopefully you've enjoyed those. Really haven't discovered anything. Where's, there we are. You know what? Before we end the episode, because we haven't done this for a while, let's put that there. Let's get our pumpkin pie. There we are. We have a pie that's named. Okay, excellent. We're going to stick it right there. And then we're going to stick a banner at it as well. And then we'll come over here and we'll stick a sign. And we'll put the date. What is today? It's the 12th. There we go. All right. Someone's going to find that one day. Thanks for joining, everybody. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care.